Hi everyone, Sheryl from Gems Out here. Okay, and I am here. This is going to be the final part of the tutorial. So this is part 5 of the 6x6 mini album. So there are just a couple of things that I need to cover really quickly. In part 4, we did the inside part of the book, the lining. And remember, I made a couple mistakes. So this is what I did. I used some trim, and I got this trim from Hobby Lobby. And what I did was I just hot glued it down all the way along the perimeter here. Okay, so it's just at the top and at the bottom. Okay, and then this piece right here, again, this is our hinge mechanism. Now, last night when I went to bed, I dreamed about this hinge mechanism, and what I came to the realization is that I probably should have put the tie back on and then another piece of craft cardstock on top of it, so that the craft cardstock, so that it was the hinge, the tie back, and then craft cardstock again. So the tie back was sandwiched in between the cardstock, only because for some reason I had a fear of it actually lifting up and you seeing the tie back. Okay, so of course what I did was I peeled this back ever so carefully, and then I put some craft cardstock down on top of the tie back and then glued it down. So basically what I'm saying is, because I know there are a lot of people out there that are visual, this piece right here, now it's totally up to you if you want to do it this way. You guys do whatever way you feel comfortable with. This is just the way, and again, this is my first time using Ozagran's tutorial on using this hinge like this. Okay, normally I've been using, in the past I should say, I've used Kathy Orta's hidden hinge system. And so with this one, this is the stacked hinge, I believe is what she called it. So I'm still trying to kind of evolve it to kind of make it so that it works for me. And for me to feel comfortable, this is the way I would like it to work. So I know when I first showed you guys how I put this together using Ozagran's tutorial, you folded the two flaps over on each other, okay? And then I cut another piece of craft cardstock and adhered that down. So what you can do is once you fold those two pieces over, you could put some tie back in between and then sandwich it with that extra piece, or do like I did, put the craft cardstock, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of this tie back here, glue this here, and then one more piece and put that right there, because what I want is I want the cardstock to be adhered to the base here. Okay, I hope that made sense. To me, it just seems like it's actually going to work better for me, at least for my peace of mind, because obviously I was dreaming about it last night, and so I just think that that would look better. Okay, so I do apologize to anyone if you guys have already adhered this down, if I've started making your book. I am sorry, but like I said, it's new. This is the first time I'm actually doing this also, so I'm kind of trying to make it mine, or should I say make it work for me to where I'm comfortable. Okay, so I'm going to stop rambling and let me go ahead and show you guys what else you need to do. Now with this hinge system here, what you need to do is you need to trim, and I should have did this when I first made it, but I completely forgot. What you need to do is you need to trim off the sides here. So if you see this, these are all cut on an angle, and then there is score tape, and you can put the score tape either in the middle or close towards the edge, whichever one you guys feel comfortable with. Okay, and so what I did was I just snipped the corners here, and then I put the tie back closer to the edge. I normally put, not the tie back, I'm sorry, the score pal tape. Normally I put the score pal tape, I normally use the 1/8 of an inch and the 1/4 of an inch, but I completely ran out of the 1/8 of an inch, so I only put the 1/4 of an inch, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I snipped the edges. And I know you guys probably know this, but I'm just going to go over it really quickly. Okay, so what I normally do is I put the score pal tape on first, and then all you do is you're cutting off basically a small triangle. Can you guys see that? And you just snip it so it looks like this. Okay, and you do that for each and every single one. And I do that because it makes it easier when you adhere your pages, it makes it easier for it actually to slide in, okay? And so all I'm doing is just snipping these off. Okay? So now, this is what it looks like, okay? And it just makes it so much easier when you actually slide the paper in, okay? So I'm going to quickly do the other side, just so you guys can see, because I know some people are visual learners. I know I'm a visual learner. I can read the directions. If I read the directions, normally I just look at it and then try to figure it out. I'm so terrible at that. And I know they say guys are usually like that. I'm so terrible. I will try to figure it out and not read the directions in a heartbeat. Okay? So, this is how it should look, and it just makes it easier for it to slide on. So, let me get rid of all these extra pieces, and we can start adhering the pages. So, I have one set of the book that is completely done. Everything's been adhered and all of that. So, I'm going to do that first. I also have pockets that I'm going to put right here and right here for both sides of the cover, okay? I also have pockets for that. And I'll give you guys the measurements for those in a minute. Now, when you are adhering your pages for your book, I would advise you to flip through this and make sure that this is exactly the way in which you want it to be. Because once you adhere this down, you're not getting it back up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is flip through the pages of the book so you guys can see exactly how the layout of how I wanted it to be in the layout. If you guys are doing it exactly the same way as I am, the way it should be. So again, this is the first page, and this first page has a flap. Okay, so it should open up just like this. All right, and there's the hinge for the flap. When you flip it over, it's like this. Okay. So when they're side to side, you see this, which means this piece should open up just like this. Now, when you flip it over, this is the hinge right here, because now you have a piece that opens up like this. Okay, I hope I am not losing anybody. All right, so let me go back. This is the first page. It has the flap right here. When you flip it over, these are going to be the two pages that are side by side, okay? All right, you flip this over. This piece opens up with the flap like this because this begins your 4-page spread. And then this one also has a piece that opens up just like this because it starts, you know, it's the ending part of your 4-page spread, okay? Now, I cannot get all of this in camera together, but this is the way it looks when it's open up, okay? Now, when you flip this over, this is going to be the other piece where you have your hinge, okay? So there's your 4-page spread. This is the piece that actually gets glued to the hinge. I know you guys didn't see that as I was pointing to it. All right, so this one right here, when you open this up, this is a piece that gets adhered to the hinge. When you flip it over, this is part of your 4-page spread, okay? And so this piece opens up like this. This piece right here, this one also opens up, okay? When you flip this over, here is the part that gets adhered to your hinge. This is the last page. This page has a flap. It flips up. And when you flip it over, there's your other pockets for your picks. And then there's a hinge, okay? I hope I did not confuse you guys by going through it like that. But I just wanted you to make sure that you put your pages in order the way that you want them to be in the book for when you adhere them down. And the reason I say it's going to be hard for you guys to get them off the hinge once you put them on there is because the first thing that you have to do is you have to glue this right up until about 1/4 inch from the edge, because then what you're going to do is you're going to slip this onto the hinge in the book, okay? So let me go ahead and move this off to the side. And then before you start gluing down, make sure you turn your book and look at the cover to make sure that you're gluing it the right way. That's the other thing you have to make sure that you do. I know some of this stuff seems like it should be common sense, and it should be, you know, it's something that you should realize and you should know. But I just want to make sure that everybody, you know, that we're all together, you know, on the same page. Because, I mean, it's so easy to do, especially with the inside of the book, with the way that it looks, because it looks kind of like it's seamless. You know, you can't really tell, and I would hate for it to be start gluing it on, and then when I get done, realize that it's like this, and this is the back. That's totally the wrong way, okay? So just make sure that you guys are, before you get started gluing your stuff down, that you do have your covers, you know, your, basically the base of your book, that you have it turned the right way, okay? So, getting back to actually gluing this on, your open edge should be to your left, okay? And then, like I said before, you're going to take your hot glue. I'm using hot glue. I'm assuming you guys can also use your Scott's Quick Adhesive, but I'm going to use hot glue just because that's what I'm used to and that's what I like, and it's super fast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue from right here, just about the edge, and I'm going to bring it all the way up to just about 1/4 of an inch. All right, and you have to be fast. So before I even do that, I'm going to check one more time, and then I'm going to take the lining off for the tape. All right, because once you have that hot glue, you're going to press that down, and then you need to go ahead and slide it on to stick it down, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start, see, I got it upside down. I would be totally wrong. I'm going to go ahead and start here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the open edge all the way in, okay? So, and it doesn't have to be a large bead. It just needs to be a nice thin line. And then make sure when you fold it over that it's straight, and then you're going to just press it down, okay? All right, and this is going to create your pocket. So you see? And see down at the bottom now you have a small opening, all right? And then all you're going to do is you are going to take this. I'm going to try to get it so that you guys can see it, but I'm not quite sure if this is going to work. But all you're going to do is you're going to slip this on, and you're going to kind of, sorry about that, slide it. And I'm doing this at an awkward angle because I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing. Hold on. Sorry, I know I'm totally out of frame, but I got to make sure I got this on right. Okay. All right, so what you do is you're going to slide this on. And when you slide this on, if you look, you can see that it's all the way there. And when you flip on this side, you can see it's all the way there. So once you have it on, your page on, all you need to do now is just really smooth it. So you can go ahead and lay it flat and smooth that down here. And then flip it back over to this side and smooth that down there. Okay? And that's going to make it so that this is your first page that's in the book. Okay? So, again, here's your 1/2 of a inch for your gusset. This makes it really easy. This is up just a little bit. It actually isn't centered like I wanted it to be, but it's still okay. And then again, right here at the top, you have your space for your tag. Okay? So let me go ahead and do the next page. All right. So here's my next page. I'm going to go ahead and remove the tape backing for the second one. And again, because you're using hot glue, you're going to go ahead and adhere this piece down first, and then leave your openings in order to be able to slide it on. You could actually take your tape off later. This is just the method that I use. And again, you guys have to do what's comfortable for you. Okay? So because this one has the flap in the back, what I'm going to do is I'm putting my finger here and then this one here to make sure that I just have them separated, okay? And also because this one tends to flap out, I just like to hold it so it doesn't, you know, get all over the place. So again, I'm just going to take my hot glue and I'm going to start about 1/4 of an inch from the edge, and then I'm going to go all the way over, okay? Now, if it makes it easier for you to let that flap go for the one in the back, by all means, please go ahead and do that, especially as you are putting your hot glue down, if it just makes it easier for you. So it's totally up to you. So again, here's my opening, and here's my opening down at the bottom. Okay? Sorry for the close-up, but I just wanted you guys to be able to see. All right, sorry for the shaking of the camera. And so all I'm doing here is I am sliding it on, and I hope you guys can see that. And then what I do is let me see if I can turn this around so you guys can see. What I do then is I actually bring this one up, the first one that I put on up, and I just make sure that they kind of are on the same, that they're lined up. Because it's not completely stuck down, so you do have a little bit of wiggle room. And so I just make sure that they're lined up so that they're not completely off center. And then once I do that, I go ahead and smooth it down. All right. And so just move that flap out the way and then go ahead and smooth the crease down. Okay. So there you go. So when you flip that open, here's your crease there. And again, this one is up just a little bit at the top like the first one, okay? Because you want to try to make sure that you keep it uniform. And so there you go. So you just keep completing, repeating this all the way through. Let's see, I'm at 16 minutes. So I'll go ahead and do, well, let's see, I'll go ahead and do one more. Now remember this one, with the way that this one is, remember this one opens up this way. So your flap, the flap that you glue is not going to be right here. It's going to be on this side. So again, I just flip it all the way over, let that flap go, and then go ahead and start my glue. 1/4 of an inch then, all the way down, and then go ahead and seal that. Make sure it gets a good stick. And then take my tape off because I forgot to do it before. And I'm going to go ahead and get this on. Now I'm going to go ahead and do this kind of really quickly, just because I got a couple more things that I want to show you guys. And I'm already at about 17 minutes. All right. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. I've gotten some comments from people saying that they really enjoy it, and that, you know, they're glad that I did it. So I am glad that you guys are liking the tutorial. So again, let me know if you have any comments. And I do try to make sure that I answer all comments and any questions that you guys have. I'm just making sure that this is right. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue this one. Set this down. And then you can go ahead and adhere this one. Make sure that this one is even. And go ahead and stick it down. So this 1/2 of an inch gusset that I have on this one actually allows for you to have plenty of space for you to add your embellishments, especially your chunky embellishments. So if you notice with the first one, this is chunky here and this is chunky here, but it isn't so obstructed because there's a 1/2 of an inch gusset. It's a little tight, but not too tight, which is one of the things that I like about this binding system. Okay, so I just got 2 more to do, so bear with me. The next 2 things that I got to show you, I think it may be one thing that I have to show you, is going to be pretty quick. So, and then what I'll do is once I finish embellishing the book, the covers of the book and everything like that, I'll go ahead and make a video and take you through all of the elements, because some of the pieces aren't completely glued down. Some of them are raised up like this, you know, that allows for you to be able to stick, you know, a nice size photo mat behind it. And I still may make a photo mat to put behind this just to make it easier. And then this piece is lifted up as well. So, you know, just little things like that just to take you through all the elements of the book. Okay. Let's see. Let's make sure. Oops. That wasn't right. second. This one didn't stick down the way I needed to. There we go. Alright. Make sure this one is even. Okay. Stick this down. Alright, and last one. Okay. Then, again, I'll place my glue. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to shake the camera. That one's a little higher, but. And then, when I made the book that I had to, for the baby shower that I went to this past Saturday, a couple of the tags seemed to be a little too big on the sides. And I think it was because just the way that this was glued down. The measurements are correctly, but if you find that that is the case, just trim the sides down. It makes it super easy. It's not that it's too long lengthwise, it's just widthwise. So you can trim the sides of it down to make the tags fit, because it only was like that for about 2, but the rest of the tags fit. So it was just, you know, the way in which it was adhered. So here's the book. All of the pages are in. You have plenty of room. The more that you kind of mold this together, it won't be such an alligator mouth where it just pops out. Okay, so let's go ahead and put the tags in really quickly. And I just kind of turn them the opposite way. So let's see if I can angle this up. There we go. So I'm going to stick this one in. And this one's just a little bit of a tight fit, but that's okay. Some of them are going to be like that. But they should slide in just fine without any problem. Let's go with this one. Then this one. I think I need to switch that one. Here we go. Here's this one, and then one more tag. And we are done. Or at least with these. Now I can show you guys the pockets that I made. Sorry, I know my arm was in the way. Alright, there we go. So now these are all the tags. I usually just move them a little bit over, or just whatever, so that they kind of all line up. Okay, so now for the pockets. Your pockets are going to measure 7 3/4 by 4. Okay, so this is what it will look like. I actually just used a Martha Stewart punch and punched along the edge. So this is 7 3/4 by 4, and what you do is you score at a 1/2 inch on 3 sides. So the 2 sides here, and then right here. And then what you're going to do is, once you do that, you're going to cut. Let's see. Oh, I glued this one down, so I can't show you. Typically, what people do is they cut this square out right here. You see the square? What I do is I cut almost like a little triangle all the way up to intersection point, and then I cut one more little small triangle right there. Okay, so that way when you pop this out, you've already mitered your corners. All right, and so you do that for both sides. All right, and so then after you've done that, I inked my edges. I don't know if I told you guys, but when I was the pages, the mats for the pages in the book, I tried my best. I really tried my hardest to not ink the craft cardstock and only ink the actual paper. that worked for one tag, and then I had to go back and ink the edges all around with the craft cardstock. I just couldn't take it. It just was, I just couldn't do it. So I don't know if anybody is that bad, but I am. So right here, the other thing that you're going to do is right here, because this piece is folded back and it's going to be adhered down, just to make it easier for your papers or, you know, whatever you're putting in here to slide. I would miter this corner at the top as well. Okay, and all you're doing is cutting it on an angle. And you're going to do that for both sides. All right, so this is what it should look like. All right, you see that? Right there and right there. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to take either hot glue or Scott's quick drying glue, and you're going to put just a small bead of hot glue right here, and then you're going to smooth that up and stick that down. Okay, and it's all right if it pops out just a little bit, but you do need it to have a little bit of tack to it. Okay, and that's all I'm doing. Same side, or should I say opposite side, but same thing. And then now that you've done this, what you do is put some score tape along all three sides. So I'm going to go ahead and do that really quickly. Let's see if I can move this up and move this over. Okay, so after you put your score tape down, the mat that you're going to need for this pocket, the size of the mat is going to be 6.5 by 2 3/4. Okay, and I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I use the, well, I know I mentioned this part. I use the Baby Boy stack by DCWV, but for the lining, the inside of the book, so for this piece here, and then the mat for this pocket here, that I used, for that I used Nana's, I think it's Nana's Baby Boy stack. And I got that from Michael's. Okay, so again, this piece right here for your pocket, this measures, you're going to need to cut a piece of cardstock at 7 3/4 by 4, and then you're going to score it at 1/2 inch on 3 sides. Okay, miter your corners where it intersects to cut that out. And then also cut this on an angle right here at the top so that it slides down easily. Put your score tape on all 3 sides on the back. And then your mat is going to be 6.5 by 2 3/4. Okay, so I did, let me not put this all in the way. I actually put together one pocket already. I'm just going to do this one here really quickly, and then we should be good. So the next video that you see will be of the completed book. Okay, so let me go ahead and get this together so I can show you guys, and you guys will be done. Okay, so is this not the right size? Yeah, I just was sticking it down wrong. There we go. And before you actually glue your pieces down, if you want to punch a decorative edge at the top, I would do that before you start gluing the hot glue and then putting the score tape down. It just makes it easier if you do it that way. Okay, so stick that down, and then I can go ahead and put these down as well. Okay, let's see, is that in frame? There we go. Just to make sure so you guys can actually see. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to center this. I will fold the book up just so you can kind of see and gauge where it is. Sorry, I was out of frame. So this bends right there at this crease right there. So I know where to not place the pocket, so to speak. So I'm going to place it a little further down. And let me make sure this is even. Down here on the bottom. And then just stick it down. And I usually take my bone folder and then I just kind of go on the inside, right in the corners, along the bottom, and then in the corner again, just so you can get that good stick right there. Okay, and so that's the inside right there. I'll probably put something right here in the middle and then fill this pocket up with a few things. Okay, so let me go ahead and do the other side. Like I said, the other side I already had together. So I'm just going to peel off this tape on the back. And then I can stick this one down as well. Okay, so move this out the way. And then, here we go. So you guys can see it a little better. Alright, I am just going to pull this up so I know where the edge is. Make sure I don't stick it there. Move this down some and kind of try to eyeball it just a little bit, just to make sure that it's kind of even all the way across. You may not be able to get it completely even, but just to eyeball it just a little bit. And then just stick it down. Okay, so I'm just gonna, well, that's crooked. Let's see if I can get this one up just a little bit. Okay, I hadn't stuck down too much. Alright, now if that's still crooked, it's just going to be crooked. There's nothing I can do about that one. Okay. Alright guys, so I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial again. Sorry. And really quickly, there's the pocket, there's the inside page. This trim is at the top and at the bottom to cover up my little mistakes, but it looks like it's supposed to be like that, which is one of the things I so love about scrapbooking. And then here are the pages. And then again, you have that 1/2 inch gusset. These both flip open like so. Again, there. These both flip open like so. And then here, and then this one flips up, and then you flip over, and then here's that pocket. So plenty of real estate. So again, I will show you guys the finished one once I am completely done. Thank you guys for hanging in here with me for 5 parts of this tutorial, but I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you've learned something. And please, if you have any questions or anything like that, please let me know. All right, guys, thank you so much. Bye-bye.